Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Monday, October 15th, 2018.
Commissioner Garcia, Repenning, James, Davis, and Jacinto are present. President James, we do have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Mike Cirillo, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Hassan Rod, LA Sanitation.
Good morning, Asad Al-Najjar, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Good morning, Brett McReynolds, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Lori Rittenberg, City Attorney.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we do not have any speaker cards under general public comment. We also do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section, and no speaker cards on any of the items for today's agenda.
Okay, well, we'll close general public comment as well as the Neighborhood Council category of commentary. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes from the meeting of Friday, September 14th, 2018? By Commissioner Repenning. Any objection? Without objection, we will do so. Let's take agenda item number 1, Council Districts 8 and 9, contract acceptance, North Outfall Sewer Rehabilitation, Unit 2, Western Avenue to Vermont Avenue, and Unit 5, San Pedro Street to Hooper Avenue. And there are a couple of amendments in the agenda that I will read into the record, and then Mr. Patterson will explain them. Recommending that the board first accept the contract. Secondly, assess Spinello companies with a penalty in the amount of $62,277.85. So you'll see the slight revision there. For the unauthorized subcontractor substitution of 4 other business enterprises subcontractors, and for the unapproved subcontractor use of 1 bid-listed OBE subcontractor. Third, do not assess Spinello with a penalty of $132,093. So you'll see the revision there. For the unauthorized subcontractor substitution of 3 OBE subcontractors for the reasons that are discussed in the report. And fourth, instruct the Director of the Office of Accounting to disencumber disputed amounts of $194,033. Let me try that again. To disencumber disputed amounts of $194,370.85, and that the recommended penalty in the amount of $62,277.85 from the project fund be retained by the city, and to release the remaining funds of $132,093 to the contractor. Mr. Patterson on number 1.
Good morning. John Patterson with the Bureau of Contract Administration. As noted by the President, the recommendation is to accept the contract as amended with the revised penalty amounts. So we will be recommending assessment of Spinello with a penalty in the amount of $62,277.85. The adjustment there is due to an incorrect penalty recommendation for Cellcrete Corporation. We were able to determine that Cellcrete Corporation's subcontract amount was partially reduced by a city-approved change order, and that did reduce the potential penalty amount. It's typically calculated at 10% of the bid listed amount. Because of the city-issued change order, that reduced the subcontract amount for Cellcrete Corporation, so that did affect the potential penalty in relation to Cellcrete Corp. So we are recommending a penalty in the amount of $62,277.85 be assessed for the unauthorized subcontractor substitution of 3 OBE subcontractors and the unapproved subcontractor use of 1 bid-listed OBE sub. Do not assess Spinello with a penalty of $132,093 or $93 for the unauthorized subcontractor substitution of 3 OBE subcontractors. And as mentioned, disencumber the disputed amount of $194,370.85. That does not change. And that the recommended penalty in the amount of $62,277.85 be retained by the city and release the remaining funds to the contractor. With respect to the penalty amounts, I will discuss those now. Standard procedure is that we investigate with respect to unauthorized subcontractor substitution, which is when there is a discrepancy between the bid listed or approved subcontractor amount and the final dollar amount verified. We did determine that there were multiple issues of that in this project. We did work with the contractor, substantially received numerous volumes of documentation, information that did affect our findings as we went on. With respect to Cell Creek Corporation, as mentioned, they were bid listed to perform, $439,596. So that is the potential penalty, but there were city-issued change orders that reduced that amount. So we are only recommending a potential penalty of $42,595.05 be assessed for Cell Creek Corporation. There was no explanation with respect to their underutilization for Cell Creek from the contractor. For Hoff West Southwest Corporation, DBA Professional Pipe Services, they were bid listed to perform CCTV work for $84,328. We confirmed that they only performed $51,680.99. The contractor did not provide any documentation with respect to Hoffman Southwest Corporation. Therefore, we are recommending the penalty of $8,432.80 be assessed with respect to ProPipe. Test America was bid listed to provide debris testing for $17,500. We confirmed that only $2,975 of services was provided. The contractor did state that once the sewer was tested to the city's satisfaction, which occurred much earlier than expected, there was no need to conduct further tests. That is as per transmittal number 3. The contractor, however, did not provide any further documentation from the city that approved the reduction in Test America's subcontract amount. The city also has no record that the contractor submitted a subcontractor approval request for Test America. Therefore, we are recommending that a penalty of $1,750 be assessed for the unapproved subcontractor use of Test America.
That compile the subcontractors that make up the penalty portion?
Sorry, sir?
You got some that are penalty, some that are not.
Correct.
You're dividing them up. So
So
now we've got the penalty side all added up.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me take those first, okay?
Yes, sir.
On the penalty side, Spinello has been informed of the reasons for the penalty and the opportunity to be heard on that today, correct?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay. This obviously looks like a bit of a compromise when you look at the totality of what's in the board report. We don't have a speaker card from them. So is it the Bureau's understanding that they were not going to appear anyway?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Okay. So that said, we can deal with the penalty side. Now you've got 3 more, I think, that you're about to describe that are areas that the Bureau is recommending that we not assess the penalty, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, go right ahead, sir.
Okay. With respect to the subcontractors that we are recommending a penalty not be assessed in relation to the unauthorized utilization, we had Dion & Sons. They were bid listed as a fuel supplier for $650,000. We confirmed that only $83,537.50 of fuel was supplied from Dion & Sons. With respect to that issue, the contractor's explanation was that the sewer debris water levels reached 24 inches in some areas, which was double the 12-inch levels contained in the city charts given to the bidders. Because the water levels were significantly higher than indicated in the city charts, the use of fuel-powered cleaning equipment, such as the low-track mini-loader, which would have been submerged in 24 inches of water, that was reduced. The contractor then resorted to using hand cleaning, using winches and buckets, and so the use of fuel was significantly reduced. That is per transmittal number 3. The project conditions did vary significantly from the information provided to the bidders. However, no City of Los Angeles change orders were issued with respect to this scope of work, as the scope of work itself did not change. The only change was the method by which the contractor completed the particular scope of work. So in that respect, we are recommending that the penalty of $65,000 not be assessed for the unauthorized subcontractor substitution of Dion & Sons. Essentially, the same change in conditions, or the change in the job conditions, affected Pacific and Pacifica, the two other subcontractors. So Pacifica Chemical and Pacific EH&S Services Incorporated. Pacific was bid listed to provide odor control for $296,000, but only $81,055 was provided. The contractor stated that the odor control system functioned much better than anticipated. the need for air testing was reduced and the need of Pacific services was reduced. So again, even though the specific project conditions varied significantly from the information provided to the bidders, there were no City of Los Angeles issued change orders. So we are recommending that a penalty of $29,600 not be assessed for the unauthorized subcontractor substitution of Pacific. And with respect to Pacifica, so Pacifica EH&S Services, they were a supplier of hydrogen peroxide. They were bid listed to provide a portion of the odor control for $374,930. We confirmed that they only provided $134,218.60 of services, so 134, 218, and 60. They stated again that the odor control system functioned much better than anticipated. The volume dosing need for hydrogen peroxide was reduced, and Pacifica's total amount delivered was also reduced. So that is per transmittal number 3. So the project conditions varied significantly from the information provided to the bidders by the city. However, no City of LA change orders were issued with that scope of work, as again, the method by which the contractor completed that scope of work has changed. That was the only difference. Therefore, the city is recommending that a penalty of $37,000, or staff is recommending a penalty of $37,493 not be assessed with respect to Pacifica.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Patterson. I don't have any questions. Thank you for the explanation, the board report as well. Seeing no other questions and recognizing that there is a split of sorts here and Spinello is not opposing this, I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 1 as amended. Seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 1 as amended. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send number 1 forthwith. Number 2, claim for refund, 5667 Santa Monica Boulevard in Council District 13. Recommending that the board forward the report to the City Council with the recommendation that the claim for refund be approved in the amount of $361,131.68 for the claimant, which is 5601 through 5667 Santa Monica Boulevard owner LLC at 4700 Wilshire Boulevard, Los Angeles, California. Mr. Tanageri. You're not Mr. Tanageri.
Good morning, I'm Matt Masuda. I'm with the
Hi, Matt.
Bureau of Engineering Central District. I'm here for Wesley, who's been promoted to the Valley District. A claimant, Brian Nguyen, he paid a sewage facilities charge of $361,131.68 for his project, which was canceled, and he's filing a refund. No building permit was issued, and no sewer house connection permit was issued. So this refund is not what you call it.
Is warranted?
Is warranted. I'm sorry. I was kind of sitting here last minute. I'm sorry. Normally refunds over $57,000 must be approved by the board, and this amount has to be approved by the City Council. So we are recommending that this report be forwarded to the City Council.
Okay. Well, it hits that threshold. The Bureau says that it's warranted. Commissioner Ascento?
Thank you, President James. Matt, I just wanted to clarify that we don't usually get these. They don't come to us, these refunds. And so this is new for me. And so this is warranted, and it's going to go to City Council because of the amount?
Correct.
Very good. Thank you.
Well, no problem with it stopping here on its way. So, Commissioner Ascento, I'll take that as a motion. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 2. Thank you. Any issue sending number 2 forthwith? We'll send it forthwith so it can make its way to council quickly. Agenda item number 3, Council District 13, a contract award, Northeast Police Station parking structure, recommending that the board declare McCarthy Building Companies Incorporated the sole bidder to be the lowest responsible bidder, and award McCarthy Building Companies a contract for the project for $11,183,000. And secondly, authorize myself or 2 members of the Board of Public Works to execute the contract after approval as to form has been obtained from the city attorney. Mr. Kawaguchi. And this was one bidder, so you'll let us know how this was in the Bureau's range.
Okay. Good
Morning, Commissioners and Bureau Heads. What we have before you is the award of a contract to McCarthy Building Company, which is the sole bidder, for $11,183,000. For some background to the project, Public Works completed the Northeast Police Station, which is located on San Fernando Road, in about mid-part of 2016, as a 50,000 square foot police station. Typically, we would build the police station and the parking structure together. But because of Prop Q funds were running low, they only built the police station and said we would build the parking structure at a later date. Unfortunately, the later date, it came pretty quick for us. So in the fiscal year of 2017, 18, we were given the request to add a police parking structure. 225 spaces would be used at this time. Because of the element, the black and whites are parked on the streets. The council office has asked us to try to expedite this as quickly as possible. So what we did is we decided that the quickest way to build a parking structure would have been to go out, pre-qualify, and get contractors which a specialized design build of parking structures, pretty much just parking structures. At the time, we had about 8 firms that were pre-qualified for us that we went out and solicited to. Unfortunately, at that time, the building of the NFL stadium started taking off, and almost all of the contractors went over there. We came to you in June of this year requesting that we allow the business inclusion program to be accepted for the 2 bidders of ARB and McCarthy. All the other 6 said they declined to bid because they were busy with other work. The board approved that. ARB did notify us as well that they also had they committed to too much work as well, and so McCarthy came in as the sole bidder. Their numbers are about 14% higher than we have, but in the bidding environment that we have right now, we feel that their numbers are very acceptable at this point. So we're asking that you award and name them the responsible bidder at this point.
Okay. Commissioner Jacinto.
Thank you. Alan, you know, we originally we had bids. We had 2 bids, correct? And they were significantly higher than the city estimate. Do you remember what that percentage was?
Pardon?
Do you remember what the percentage was of how much they were elevated over and above the city engineer estimate originally?
Okay, we never received a bid for these 2 numbers. We were actually trying to get them to be qualified because of the business outreach, and we knew the numbers were on the outreach were on the lower side because of the fact that in order to make sure that we had a contractor that specialized in parking structures, we required that they sole source or they self-perform a lot of the concrete work. So there was very little to actually bid out. So they didn't give us a price yet. It was a number that we had originally said, can you build it within these numbers? We thought that they could, but they said with the amount of steel and everything going out elsewhere, they said the numbers are on the higher side.
So they really didn't give it to us formally, but by finishing the process of the bid in the sole source, or the one bid from MBC, that we were able to get.
That's correct. I think the way McCarthy had told us as well is that they felt that they were bidding against themselves, feeling that the board may not award if the numbers were too high. So they said, well, they're going to give us a very competitive number. So when the numbers came in and we looked at their numbers, it was a competitive number, and we felt was justifiable based on the environment that we're running in today.
And that's the recommendation. You feel comfortable with the numbers?
Yes.
All right, Alan. Thank you.
You have all the funding you need for this, Alan?
At this point, we're short about $1.6 million. That motion right now is going before the board because we're transferring money from one MICLA project to the other. In fact, from Fire Station 39, we're going to move $1.6 million over into this parking structure. Because again, when we had our budget for the Fire Station 39, the project got bid about $4 million lower than our budgeted number, so we had extra money to put into this other area. So that motion right now is going into council.
Okay.
It should be there hopefully within a week.
Okay. So you anticipate being there soon?
Yes.
Okay. Anything further? Commissioner Santos made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 3, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 3. Any issue sending number 3 forthwith? We'll send number 3 forthwith. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Agenda item number 4, an oral report, American Society of Civil Engineers, Region 9, Wastewater Treatment Project of the Year, Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Digester Gas Utilization Project. Mr. Kopp is here.
I'm going to stand next to him.
And Mr. Cirillo, so there must be some gloating that's going to occur. Do we have any marching bands coming in or anything? Okay. All All right.
Good morning.
Welcome.
David Kopp, Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. I didn't think I'd be speaking on this project again, but here I am, but happy to do so, of course. And what Region 9 means is it's the entire state of California was recognized. This project, Region 9 of ASCE has recognized this project in 2017. This is a follow-up to that. The award ceremony was actually around mid-2018. And it was recognized as the outstanding wastewater project. And that should be a big deal for the city. As most of us know here, the DGUP was a tremendous project. And for an environmental engineering or wastewater engineering project, it really doesn't get any better than this. A cogeneration facility, and that's what this is. It's a digester gas cogeneration facility. And for a wastewater plant to have one of these, it's sort of the intersection of where all of the processes start to converge. And for the DGUP, we had the reuse of biogas, which is a byproduct generated at the plant. We have the use of cooling water that's derived from the wastewater stream itself. So we're turning these waste streams into resource streams, so to speak, and at a magnitude that has not been seen much in the country, let alone around the world. And what this also does is generates between 25 and 27 megawatts of power, which is roughly the equivalent of taking 10,000 single-family homes and providing electricity from a renewable source. And aside from the performance aspects of the project, this is one of these sustainable projects that, this is the buzzword lately, and it's a good thing. In the respect that this project not only takes these waste streams and generates resource streams, but reuse existing infrastructure. And Hyperion is over 100 years old. And that being said, there's not a lot of open space to build on. And so what this project sought to do in its scope of work was to take these old buildings and repurpose them so that we didn't have to do carte blanche demolition of the north side of the plant, so to speak. We were able to reuse existing buildings, reusing existing pipe supports, existing piping. There was a pipeline that extended almost the half of the length of the plant that we were able to repurpose rather than digging up the entire plant just to get to it and rebuild a new line. And since the project has been in operation since April 29th, 2017, there haven't been any major interruptions, which speaks to the success of the project, the outstanding nature of this facility. And the 3 years that preceded it was the timeline handed forth to the project team to design, construct, commission, and bring this thing into operation to the condition it's running in today. And for that, it's important to thank all the folks that made this happen, not just at the project team level, which was an assemblage of the Bureaus of Contract Administration, Engineering, Sanitation, to deliver this project, but also at the executive level. There were a lot of issues that would come up, and they needed to be resolved as quickly as they came up. And thanks to the project team, the executive team, the Board of Public Works, we were able to escalate when needed with the right people in the room at the right time with the right information, and being able to make decisions that were made to make sure that this project became a success.
Mr. Kopp, was this project the first of its kind? Is it fair to say that?
In some respects, yes. In some respects, no. The technology was actually implemented as part of what was called the Hyperion Energy Recovery System that was installed and operated in the 80s. But the technology wasn't as honed in. It wasn't as proven as it was today. And that was one of the big criteria of DGUP, was to implement proven technology. And so this is definitely a new and improved version of energy recovery projects of similar size, similar approach, similar process, but can certainly say that DGUP is running, or what we call the Hyperion Bioenergy Facility. It's running much better than, I would say, the HERS facility is what we call a Hyperion Energy Recovery System some 2-3 decades ago.
Great.
But also wanted to recognize not just the folks that were in the meetings maybe negotiating some issues or resolving technical challenges, but the boots on the ground, the hands with the wrenches and the hammers. And if you add all of the people up that built it, that designed it, we're talking hundreds of people that made this project happen, and I wanted to recognize that. And the awards, it's sort of a statement of those hundreds of people that made this happen. And that's it for my oral report on this. If you had anything else to mention, Mike.
Was there, recognizing that you won the Oscar this year, was there an Academy Awards ceremony that happened somewhere that?
Yeah, so the Region 9 awards preceded by the LA region and the LA section, so one, being smaller than the other, but you're basically going to these brackets. And so the DGUP made it to the Region 9 bracket, which is the state of California. It's one of the bigger, I believe it's the largest region and the only region that covers one state alone. And so from there is another level of the bracket, which is for outstanding civil engineering project as a whole, which the DGUP did not make, but we were at the Region 9 award ceremony. It was held at the Veterans Hall in San Francisco. And went up with the Bureau of Sanitation and went up to receive the award, took a picture, had a quick presentation on that, and then flew back that night. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad you were able to go and we were represented, and congratulations. You know that we were here to award that project. Commissioner Davis and I were. And I remember that hearing distinctly. Lots of lawyers and lobbyists, because it was competitive. There were really 3 on the table, but 2 finalists. And from that point to this point, it wasn't without challenge, this project, but that's to be expected on a project like this. And this is a nice way to close the chapter, particularly after we had the negotiations around a closeout change order on this. And, one thing I recall is all the parties were very aptly represented through the process, which from our perspective makes things easier. So thank you all, and to both of you, and to Tim as well, Mr. DeFetta at Sanitation, for being the face of the project for both of the respective parts of our Department of Public Works. We appreciate it. Commissioner Cinto.
Thank you, President James. Dave and Mike, it's great to see you folks here, and congratulations on what a great report, what a great recap of not just the entire project, but the validation, the affirmation, and I'll use Dr. Davis's words as a project of demonstrating excellence of national significance. And I remember coming in 3 years ago and receiving the briefings, and the tough briefings, as President James had mentioned, about high profile and trying to get through some very tough issues with this type of process, the magnitude that it had, and the relationship and the interdependent nature that it had with the Bureau of Sanitation. So I think that together, the Bureau of Sanitation and Bureau of Engineering working together to represent the city and to work through the issues was exemplary. And to see this project online now, producing, really in support of the mayor's vision and sustainability plan of just like this logic model is incredible. And I think this sets the tone for the rest of the United States. And happy to be here at this time. We're able to put this project into play and to see your folks' leadership make it happen, along with everybody else. You said hundreds, literally boots on the grounds and contractors and the prime. This is a project that really validated this model. So congratulations to you and to all.
Thank you, Commissioner Cinto. Commissioner Davis?
Yeah, I want to absolutely congratulate us for the work that we have done and the recognition we've received. And I hope that as we move forward, we will continue to be competitive. We're a big city. We're Los Angeles, and people are always looking to us in terms of what we do. And we set the trend in so many fields that it is critically important that we continue to do so. Having said that, I'm curious in terms of the agencies that made it to the national level, and hopefully we can get the intelligence from that in terms of what it is that they did that made the difference as we aspire to continue our achievement moving forward, and I'm sure we're going to do that. Certainly my expectation is that, as well as I'm pleased, is that we'll make it to the to the ultimate top. I know we have the capability of doing that. And I want to add that in terms of productivity, oftentimes as we look to these other goals that we're trying to achieve here on the Board of Public Works, believe it or not, diversity plays a critically important role even in achievement. And sometimes even the cutting edge of difference is the new ideas that come from diverse corners that made the difference. We'll talk about that when you and I can talk about who made it, and we'll look at why they made it and the makeup of who they had playing. But I'm very proud of what we have done, and I am eager for our continued competition moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Garcia.
I want to say congratulations to both and just to the Bureau of Engineering, Bureau of Sanitation, and everybody that was involved. But I want to see the award. Can we see it? You can show it like that. Oh, very nice. Well, congratulations. This is very nice and well deserved. I'm sure we'll put it in a nice place out in one of
Commissioner Jacinto's office.
Commissioner Jacinto's office. All right.
I was going to say.
All right, we'll see it all the time. Then.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Has
both for bringing
Joelle's
this.
name back here on the back of it. It says Outstanding Wastewater Treatment Project in the state of California. That narrows it down. Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Digester Gas Utilization Project, City of Los Angeles, R.G. Vanderwell Engineers, Acme Trophies. There you go. Cool. Thank you, guys. Anything else? Mr. Cirillo?
We take a photo?
Oh, yeah, let's do the photo. Good idea. Came all the way down here, and we haven't even set up the photo yet. Let's do that now.
Would you like to?
I haven't posted in a while anyway.
Would you like to conclude the meeting or take the photo and then come back and conclude the meeting?
Let's go ahead and
That clears the desk.
Let's conclude the meeting. The desk is cleared.
Yes, it has.
So we are adjourned. Thank you. Now we'll take a photo.